It was the third meeting ever between the Galaxy and the Vancouver Whitecaps, and for the third time, the Galaxy shut out the Whitecaps, and they beat them 3-0 here at the Home Depot Center. Cobi Jones, Mark Rogondino here with you for Galaxy in 5. Clearly one of the better performances. Would you say it's the best by LA so far in 2012?
For me, it's the most complete performance by the Los Angeles Galaxy this season. They started out strong, got the goals, kept the shutout, and played consistently throughout the whole game, keeping possession and not even giving Vancouver any opportunities.
Well, rather than talk about it, let's take a look at it. Beginning in the first half with the highlights, and we'll start with Mike Magee. He opened the scoring in the 16th minute.
And what's oh so important is that header from Juninho, putting the ball back across the box, and then once again, a poacher's goal from Mike Magee. He'll take it as he just kind of sitting there. Joe Cannon doesn't get a good grip on the ball, and Mike Magee's able to slot it in near post.
That's the third of the season for Mike Magee. Remember, he scored in Salt Lake in the midweek. Landon Donovan picking up where he left off after leaving Salt Lake.
Well, it just shows you Jay DeMeritt underestimating the speed of Landon Donovan, and you see once again Landon Donovan capitalizing on the mistakes of the back line of Vancouver and creating chances for himself, but just misses.
Speaking of creating chances, Robbie Keane back in a Galaxy uniform and back doing his thing for LA.
Well, that's what we like to see. We like to see how he's fighting straight from the start. He's being very aware, attentive, creating chances for himself, and with the help of Landon Donovan once again. And this is the one that we liked so much. Robbie Keane inside the box, technically savvy, and dancing through three defenders as he's able to just slot that ball home.
Now that goal, his fourth of the campaign. It came in the 30th minute of play, and then just before the final 5 minutes, he helps draw the penalty kick. Landon Donovan steps up to bury it for his 5th of the season, and that would propel LA to a 3-0 lead heading into halftime, into the second half. Some couple of half chances for both sides.
Exactly, but what was so important is that in the second half that the Galaxy created the best chances. I mean, you see here Josh Saunders has, he has a save, but it's all under control. This was probably the most difficult one for him the whole night. But like we talked about, that came in the last couple of minutes of the game.
Let's take a glance at our final stats. Shots, 19-11 in favor of Los Angeles, and then 6-2 in favor of shots on goal. You look at yellow cards, a total of 4 cards handed out on the night by our referee, Alan Chapman. But all in all, top to tail, whistle to whistle, a solid performance by LA in the 3-0 win here tonight at the Home Depot Center.
Exactly, and in those stats, what was important that you saw was the shots that showed you offensively they were creating opportunities, but also the fouls. The Galaxy had 14 fouls in that game. That tells you that as far as the defensive aspect, all the way through, forwards, midfielders, defenders, everyone was getting around the ball and making it very difficult for that Vancouver team.
Well, you look at the combination here tonight. You had Magee, Donovan, and Keane all finding the back of the net. But if you throw Beckham into the mix too, it seems like even though those guys have not had a ton of time so far in 2012 together, the chemistry is coming back together very quickly, reminiscent of last season.
Well, that's like you said, that's so important, and it is reminiscent of last season. And if they can start to connect right now, they can make a very good run to get in a quality playoff position.
Defensively, second shutout of the year. Josh Saunders, third straight game back in the fold after the absence for a couple of weeks. Another good performance for Josh. Even though he didn't have a lot to do, stayed sharp, took command of his area.
Well, not only for Josh Saunders, but that whole defensive back line. That's what's so important, is that we have a back line that has played now 3 full games together for the first time, all season. And then you throw Josh Saunders in there as well. That's 5, the back line plus Josh Saunders. This is what Bruce Arena's happy about, the fact that he doesn't have to make changes in goal or in that defense anymore, and that allows them to connect, and then they can be strong in the back and not give up any chances.
Well, it'll be interesting to see heading into the match a week from now against San Jose whether or not Bruce Arena does make any changes. He's never fielded the same lineup 2 games in a row so far here in 2012. All right, for Cobi Jones, I'm Mark Rogondino. This has been Galaxy in 5. The Galaxy back on top, 3-0 winners and playing like winners.